This one life skill will transform your life forever. Welcome back to the 4Q podcast. My name is Sheena Shuey. I'm a burnout therapist and business mentor, and welcome back. And if you're new here, welcome to our community. I have recently launched the movement, which is all about the Tranquil Trailblazer. So if you haven't joined our movement already, go over to my Instagram, check that out, and join our channel where I'm going to be updating it every week. Now, something I don't usually ask on this podcast is for you to review it, is for you to like it, is for you to follow me. But I'm going to do that now. So if you haven't already, please leave a like or a review. It makes a huge difference on the impact I can have for so many people. And you know that I hate promoting myself, right? I think most people, most Australians anyway, we're not great at promoting ourselves, but it really does make a big difference to me and my impact and my movement and my business if you can just leave, even if it's 5 stars and you don't want to leave a comment, totally fine, but it makes a huge difference. And I might have some goodies in store if you screenshot it and send it to me. All right, now let's get into the podcast. This one life skill is going to transform your life forever. What is it? Trusting yourself. I know, it sounds cliche, but trusting yourself is a big deal. And most of us don't do it. Most of us are conditioned out of trusting ourselves because we fill our minds with so much negative talk and we let other people influence our unconscious processes and our subconscious thoughts, right? So, I want to be a real estate mogul, you might say to yourself. I want to own multiple properties and be in real estate. And then the thought or the comment from someone external from you goes, is it a really good market? Prices these days, most people can't even afford a house. Are you sure you can do that? All of that, if you don't have a strong barrier and a strong energy field, and if you're not counteracting those thoughts, those comments being bombarded at you constantly, again, news, media, propaganda, all of those things, it's going to be really hard for you to trust in your dreams, to trust in yourself, and to trust in your beliefs. And so trusting yourself is going to transform your life forever. And I want to just give a quick example of what trusting yourself looks like compared to when you don't trust yourself. Okay, so last month, I just worked with one of my business coaches, and if you've been following me for a while, I have several. I tap into several different business mentors because they all give me something slightly different. What I'm getting from them is slightly different. But this particular mentor, I love working with her in the one-on-one space. So we'll do 3 days intensive inside Voxer where I'm talking through my ideas, I'm talking through my offers, I'm talking through my programs, I'm just talking it out and getting feedback and sort of, it's good to bounce off someone who's ahead of you or at the same level because they just get it. Anyway, so we're bouncing off each other. I wasn't in a great space. But there was this thought of I had been waiting for this for a couple of months. I had prepaid this a while and I had already postponed it. So I felt like I wanted to do it. And there was a part of me that thought, look, maybe I'm not in a great space. Maybe this will take my mind off things or give me some optimism, which for a small while it actually did. But what ended up happening was everything we created, the time, the effort, the money that I spent on what we created, the program I created with her, I didn't use any of it. There was a few bits of content that we talked about that I would do on my Instagram that I'm probably still going to use, but I threw it all out because I trust myself now. Now, Sheena from, say, 3 or 4 years ago, wouldn't have trusted myself to do that. I would have gone, oh, look, I spent all this time, money, and effort. She knows better than me. I'm just a small little fish. Maybe, I'm not thinking clearly. My nervous system's dysregulated. I'm not good at making decisions. I'm just going to go with what they say and completely trust in what she says. Even though my gut's screaming at me, hey, this isn't it. What would have happened, that Sheena from 3 or 4 years ago who didn't fully trust herself in certain things would have gone ahead and fully done created it and done it and spent, again, time, money, effort, maybe even adds to it, only for down the road realize it's not what I wanted. And I think we all know that. How many times has something not worked out? And when you look back in hindsight, you go, oh, I knew from the beginning it was never going to. I just didn't trust it. Maybe it's a work colleague starts at your work and you just have this feeling like, I don't think they're a good egg, or they're going to disrupt the flow, or there's something not right here, but you ignore it. You go, look, I want to give them the benefit of the doubt. I don't want to be judgmental. Everybody seems to like them. They're incredible. They seem to be good at what they do. I'm going to ignore that. And then maybe a year or two down the road, it proves correct. And you just didn't listen to it. You didn't trust yourself. You didn't back yourself from the beginning. This is why this skill can transform your life forever. Because what ended up happening is that this program that I ended up building out with my mentor, chucked it in the bin, threw it away, and I just went with my gut and created something completely different. And because I already know, do I have the skills? Yes. Am I competent? Yes. Are there people out there less competent than me doing the exact same thing? Absolutely. So it's a matter of now I trust myself. And that was a practice that I had to do. So trusting myself wasn't something that happened overnight. And now this is going to save me so much time, money, and effort because, again, if I would have created something that wasn't going to click correctly, it would have just slowed down my life and my business. And now I back myself. So trusting yourself, what does that actually look like? Trusting yourself often looks like trusting that you're going to be okay. Okay, so I'm going to take a financial risk. I'm going to take a leap of faith. I'm going to join a new mentor. I'm going to try breath work. I'm going to do psychedelic assisted therapies. Whatever the thing is, I'm going to try NAD, whatever it is, and knowing that you're going to be okay. Whether it works out, whether it doesn't, whether it feels big, scary, knowing that whatever happens, whether it works out or not, you can handle it and you're going to be okay. Trusting that whether you make the right or wrong decision, you're still going to figure it out. It's still going to be okay. The thing about decision making, particularly when you're a business owner and when you're a leader, is that it's better to make a wrong decision fast than be slow at making the right decisions. So it's better off that you make a whole bunch of yes decisions and 2 out of 10 are wrong and you have to fix it, than take the same amount of time to make one good decision. So trusting yourself that whether or not the decision was right or wrong, you can handle it and you'll figure it out, and that everything is figure-outable, to quote Marie Forleo. Trusting that your success is inevitable. That's also what trusting yourself looks like. That's a big one. And that's something that when we work with my Business Academy ladies in our Voxer chat, so when we're chatting in our sort of voice messages back and forth, kind of like a phone call but delayed, is we work on this piece, because the reality is you cannot achieve what you don't believe. If you don't believe that you're worthy of $1 million business or $1 million in profit, or that your business is capable of that, you'll never actually get there. You won't hold yourself like someone who gets there. You won't dress yourself like someone who gets there. You won't go to networking meetings like someone who gets there. You'll show up as the very small version of you. You'll show up as the person who goes, oh yeah, I think I could earn 5K a month, or I think I could earn 10K a month. You're not going to show up as the person who goes, yeah, I absolutely can have a 50K month in profit with a small team, with 20 hours a week. You know, you cannot achieve what you don't believe in. So trusting in your belief system as well is huge. So again, trusting that your success is inevitable. Now, I want to go into this because, again, this is a practice. You don't just wake up one day and believe all of this stuff. So how do we actually build trust in ourselves? Well, think about, how do I actually build trust in others? So let's use the example of building trust with a partner. If we were dating someone or we're in a relationship with someone, the way that trust builds over time is we ask them to do something, they follow through, they do it. They do it without whinging or moaning. They do it because they love us. And they do it because they want to show us that they love us. They want to show us that they're reliable, that they're trustworthy. It's the same thing for you, honey boo. I had that in my notes. Sometimes before I record a podcast, I'll just quickly get some notes down. I wrote down the same thing for you, honey boo. Sometimes, I don't know, I just laugh at myself because I'm like, I still laugh at how far I've come in my showing up as me journey. Again, that's a trust myself thing, because I'm sure I don't listen back to my podcast, but I am sure if you go back to the first few solo podcasts I must have done on my own, I did not show my personality at all. I didn't back myself because I was scared of, what's my professional body going to think? What are my colleagues going to think? It's so unprofessional for a health professional or a therapist to do da. It's like, now I have shown myself that I can have a successful business with or without any of that stuff. I am successful with or without that title. And anyway, again, that's a trust yourself thing. But going back to the partner analogy. So that's how we build trust with the partner, by sort of giving them tasks. They do it. They don't whinge about it. They do it because they love us, and we do that over time. So it builds and builds and builds, and then we end up building trust with that person. Same with a coworker or a colleague, and we know that they're going to keep it to themselves, and we can rely on them. It's an act of love in a lot of ways when someone does that for you. You got to do that for yourself. So you've got to ask yourself to do something. You've got to follow through with it. Do it. Do it without whinging or moaning, because you're doing it because you love the version of yourself now so much. You love the future version of you. You love that younger version of you who really needs you to step up. If you think about the childlike part of you, and again, this comes back to parts, like in IFS work, and I've spoken about this before. I have a visualization on my YouTube and inside the Tranquil Trailblazers membership around your parts, your different parts, but part of your personality is that childlike, vulnerable state. And every time you do something that scares you, but you show up for the future version of you. Okay, so again, example. You're scared of networking, but when you visualize the future version of you, she's got no problem showing up to networking. In fact, she's probably a speaker at the networking event. Maybe she's the opener. But to get to that point, you've got to show up for you. So when your childlike younger self sees you, showing up with faith, showing up even though you're scared, showing up even though you've got the imposter syndrome, feeling the anxiety and going, I'm going to sit with this discomfort because this is an action that is taking me towards the person I want to be, not away from the person I want to be. It's healing. It shows your younger self that you are worthy of the fear, that you are worthy of the discomfort, that you are worthy of it all because you trust yourself and you love yourself. Ultimately, love and trust are very intertwined. So do you love yourself enough to do this for you? Do you love yourself enough to trust yourself and back yourself? Because this is what it's all about, is backing yourself. So I hope that that is clicking for you. I hope that that's tweaking something in your brain, that if you can back yourself and trust yourself that your success is inevitable, that everything is figure outable, that you can handle whatever life throws at you, and you do that by showing up with, even when the fear comes, even when the discomfort comes, because you know you're very clear on who you want to become and you love yourself enough to show up for her or him or them. If you're willing to do that, great things are going to happen for you. Your success is inevitable. And it'll transform your life. And like I said, this is not just in business. It's, am I willing to let go of that friend I've had for 20 years because we're just not aligned anymore? She's not someone I see in my future. She's negative. She's no longer aligned with the person I'm becoming. It's okay to let it go. That's okay. I trust that I'm going to get through life without that friendship. Even bigger, family member. That family member is no good for me. They use me. They take things from me. They put bad seeds in me. Every time I see them, I leave with worse self-esteem, and it takes me a couple of days to get myself back together. Is that someone I'm willing to let go of? Am I trust myself enough that I can handle it when they get angry at me for not calling them back, angry at me for not texting them back, whatever that looks like? The trust and love in myself that I'm doing the right thing. This is right for me right now. Again, trusting your decision-making processes. So it's trusting that if you leave your relationship, that you're going to land on your feet and be okay. It's trusting that the parenting decision that you've been humming and hawing about, whatever happens, however it lands, it's all going to be figure outable and it's all going to work out and you're going to be okay. It's trusting the decisions that you're making financially, in your real estate, with your friends, with your family, with everything in life. And again, this is a practice. This is a practice. This is a practice. You don't wake up with this person one day, but this is why working with a therapist, working with a business mentor is so powerful. And I know you. If you're listening to this podcast, if you've made it this far, you're already into personal development. You're already picking up what I'm putting down. You're already on the road to being this person if you're not already. So I get that. But remember, you need to be the change you want to see in the world. And so don't be brave and say, if you're going to therapy or you're working with a business mentor, maybe you're one of my mentees or you've been thinking about working with me, or maybe this is the way that you get therapy and business mentorship, is showing up to this podcast every week, which again, it does not replace therapy or business mentorship, but it's a little swagger, a little taste. Remember, be the change you want to see in the world by being open. And say, if people say, wow, I just feel like you're so powerful, or you've shifted, or something's changed in you, or you're glowing, be okay with going, yeah, I've been seeing a therapist and it's been like the best personal development ever. Because again, a lot of people associate therapy with mental health or I'm not okay and it's just problem fixing. And don't get me wrong, there's a big part of that is that, but it's personal development at its core. I'm a strong believer that you don't have to have a diagnosed mental health condition to get benefit from therapy. Can you ask your therapist, hey, I feel like these symptoms are ADHD or anxiety or this or that? And depending on the type of person they are, they might say, I think that they're consistent with that. Or if they're very much like me, I might give you a vague answer unless you really press me and go, look, your symptoms could fit some of those things. But what they really fit is the undiagnosed trauma that you've gone through, the unprocessed emotions stuck in your nervous system. That's what's coming up. That's what's presenting. And every time we do these exercises, these real world exercises, showing up and being brave, going to a networking event when you're scared, surviving it and getting through that. What do you think that is? That's exposure therapy. That's regulating your nervous system. That's regulating your brain to go, we did something scary and survived it. So the next time it's not going to feel as scary. We have now regulated ourselves. Mind-blowing, right? Business is personal development. Business is mental health. Business is love. And I don't care what anybody has to say about that. That is what I hold true. So let me know what you got out of today's episode. I'm so proud of you again for showing up for yourself and being here and taking the time, listening to me, taking it out for you and implementing this in your everyday life. Again, the Tranquil Trailblazers membership is almost here. So don't forget to join our Instagram and our channel. Go follow us over there. And then when you join the membership, you'll be part of that chat. Our Business Without Burnout membership and mastermind group coaching programs here as well. So that's all coming. And then, of course, the 20-hour business academy for just you're implementing, you're making your business work for you. You've got time, flexibility, freedom to focus on what's important in life. Amazing. And again, don't forget to leave that review I asked at the beginning of the episode. I also awkwardly asked because it's so fun for me to do that. But again, I love you. Have a wonderful week, a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next episode of the 4Q podcast. Bye for now.